Hi, I want to talk about the attorney-client privilege. I'm Lee Phillips, I'm an attorney, so I'm not sure I'm very privileged, but let's talk about it for a minute. Basically what it says is the lawyer and the client have a relationship, and the things that go back and forth between the lawyer and the client are private. The courts can't access them. In theory, nobody can access them. In reality, I've seen some cases where the lawyers have been sued and ultimately they cough up the thing. I had one friend who was a lawyer who was sued by the government, as a matter of fact, and they wanted his client list and he wouldn't give it to them. He finally gave it to them after he spent about a year in jail, and he decided maybe his clients weren't really worth having Bubba next door all the time. So the attorney-client privilege is pretty well defined and it's pretty strict. That's not what I really want to talk about, though. What I really want to talk about is when I'm doing a living revocable trust, who is my client? You're not my client if you're the kid. It's mom and dad who are my clients. In theory, mom should have one lawyer and dad should have another lawyer for the living revocable trust because they might have competing interests. In reality, we very seldom do that, and mom and dad agree that they want the property to be distributed equally to the kids, and when dad dies, mom's going to get everything anyway. But if when dad dies, mom isn't going to get everything, mom may want to get her own attorney and have a representation in this process. I often get the kids coming in and saying, well, you know, this is what I want mom to do. This is what we think should be done. Well, you're not my client, kid. And they're usually a 60-year-old kid. Mom is my client. And yeah, I'll listen and I'll see what mom has to say about that. But I need to remember that the kids aren't my client. Mom and dad are my client. And it's what they want to do, not what the kids want them to do. It's their property. They have no obligation to leave it to the kids. They usually do, but it's their property. And as long as I'm on my soapbox, the issue of is mom and dad obligated to leave anything to me? Well, that's an issue that I'd say no, they're not obligated to leave anything to you. And I remember I went into a home one year, it was winter, it was cold. And this older lady was there and I said, well, why is it so cold in here? And she says, well, the furnace is broken. And I said, well, let's get it fixed. And she says, no, my son says I can't get it fixed because that would be using his inheritance. And that's a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. We got mom's furnace fixed, and I kind of told the son what I thought about him. If mom and dad can get out of this world without putting you in debt or being a burden, they have done what they need to do. Leaving money to you isn't what they need to do. It's take care of themselves. A little bit of soapbox from Lee Phillips here.